Market Peak with Seth and Matt. Welcome, everybody. This is Seth and Matt with Market Peak, P-E-E-K, and today is Saturday, March 10th. We record our Sunday shows Saturday night. Please subscribe and like. If you want to send us an email, we are marketpeak@gmail.com. Subscribe over there, like down here somewhere. On Sundays, we prepare you for Monday, and we're going to be discussing 5 reasons the stock market might rally next week or is set to rally next week. Monday prep, so we're going to be talking about some stuff that we like, maybe some plays to look for as well. As always, we're going to make our own predictions. We're not financial advisors. Do your research or D squared, all that neat stuff. Please leave a comment with your thoughts, and you know what? Go ahead and share it. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family, your relatives, your enemies, all that stuff. So share. All right, so we're going to jump in the list of 5. Which is something that Matt put together, which I kind of like. So, and there's plenty of reasons, but he ended up going with 5 here. And number 1 is monthly expiration. So this is something that we've been talking about pretty much every month. You said that after expiration, you usually kind of get the bears down, but going into expiration, you usually are going to see a bit of a rally. And with everything going on, I feel like if what GameStop, GME does what we expect it to do, you said you expect Apple to rally. Those are 2 pretty big names that a lot of people are following. So if those 2 do well, and you said Apple is going to bring the market up with them anyway, if those 2 do well, then there's a good chance we could actually get a rally.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you had earlier in the month a lot of fear-driven headlines, convince people to buy downside protection. A lot of people buying puts, afraid of this Archegos story and the threat that it might have represented.
Sure. Turns
out not much of a threat there, at least, based on what we know so far. So that story's kind of cycled out. And now the market, I think, is in, a more optimistic mindset right now. And I think that sets the stage for a good rally next week.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just feeling a rally. We had a nice gradual incline after a lot of just really crappy weeks. So I feel like we should.
I think a lot of people sell their puts early in the week. And just give up on any hopes of the market correcting, at least before the monthly expiration.
Let's hope.
On the 16th.
Let's hope. All right. Well, number 2, yield stabilizing, and I assume you're mainly talking about the 10-year for the most part, but across the board, which is good. Obviously, we don't want that going up too high, because if it goes up high enough, why put the risk into stocks, right? When you can have something that's a little bit more stable. And if it continues to stabilize and continues to maybe drop a little bit, I think that'd be a really, really good thing. But definitely a reason why the market could continue to rise and maybe rise up a little bit more. I don't want to say exponentially, but rise up a little bit more quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that you basically took the words right out of my mouth. 10 years stabilizing, great thing, especially for tech stocks.
Sure.
You start getting tech stocks rallying again. They're going to take the whole market with them. So, yeah, the 10-year, we're looking to find a range between that 1.5, 1.75 zone. And, the longer we kind of consolidate within that range, and if that range begins tightening a little, you get to see some, price compression.
Sure.
I think tech stocks really do start to rally and
take everything along for the ride.
The entire market just takes off.
Sure. I agree. All right. Well,
stability in the bond market is good for the stock market.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, stability in the bond market is good for everything, really. Because, I mean, that's the one thing that people generally know. All right, well, if we just want to put it somewhere safe, we know that's a safe place to put it. And if that starts to lose a little bit of that safety net, it can certainly wreak havoc on the market as a whole. That's for sure. So, all right.
And it's herd mentality.
Yeah. True. True.
If people see the price of bonds going up, they're going to want to jump in.
Yeah.
But the more people jump in, you have a knock-on effect, and that will cause a rotation out of equities and other risk assets into safe haven assets.
For sure.
Which in itself could, trigger, a recession.
Yeah.
So the Fed is suppressing the bond market right now, and it's been working.
Yeah.
So.
And let's hope it continues to work for even sooner or later. I mention it more than you do, sooner or later, but for now, we're okay with it. Just keep going up, folks. All right, earnings expectations. So what earnings are you specifically? Are you like specific stocks? Are you talking about like for like a sector as a whole? What are your
just
thoughts?
Quarterly earnings?
Sure.
Are upon us once again.
I mean,
that fun time of the year.
Sure.
That normally drives speculation, particularly in small cap and micro cap stocks, because earnings typically brings with it periods of volatility for some of these smaller, more easily manipulated stocks. So that kind of a speculative, fervor grips the market, and everyone just closes their hedges. Sure. And goes long and rides the wave. And the same thing has been happening heading into monthly expiration this for the past year. The same pattern. So like you said, Apple, GME, like these big market leaders right now, for at least for their respective indices, have a lot of upside potential going into the expiration of monthly options. Sure. A lot of people with calls on GME, a lot of people with puts who, if they don't see the price of these stocks, like these speculative stocks, GME, Tesla, whatnot, go down, they're going to sell, have to purchase shares. That's going to drive the stock higher.
I hope so. I mean, there's a lot of stocks out there that just haven't been doing that well, and hopefully they've been doing well under the scenes. I know there's a lot of them out there that I follow, and it's always like, oh, do you buy before, hoping there's going to be, it's going to go up, or do you wait, expecting it to go down? And that's always the gamble. But either way, shares are being purchased either way, and I think that's a lot of what you're kind of you're kind of referencing there too. So all right, so
I went on a tangent there, but you kind of brought it back to the main point. Sure. I was going to eventually make, and that is people ahead of earnings normally buy shares, especially in today's world where earnings normally, pretends higher share prices.
Understand.
I mean, we're in a bull market right now.
Yeah, we are.
Earnings is normally a good thing. You buy calls.
I'm glad I could succinctify it for you. So that's right.
Yeah, succinctify. Yeah. Okay, it's a new word. Round of applause.
That's right. We'll take it. Succinctify.
It might be a word, but I don't think so.
To cause succinctness unto an entity or person. All right. So number 4, VIX collapsing. We talk about the VIX.
With that for now.
Yeah, right. Like that little segue, folks. All right, so we'll go and let me pull up Trading View here, and we'll go ahead and bring up the VIX, which is our favorite. And it's been heading down. We talk about the VIX pretty much every episode. It's important, but it's on a little bit of a downturn. And if it keeps going down, obviously that's great for the market.
The VIX is like an alley cat.
Okay.
The slightest sign of danger, and it just scampers away.
Sure.
Back down into its hole.
Okay.
And
that's a bullish statement. Sure.
That's that's what it's done. We had a slight bounce off that 17-ish level earlier in the week, and now it's that spike is just being crushed. And it looks like on the chart we could be set up for actually another spike next week, but I personally think the opposite's going to happen. I think we're going to continue to collapse down to that 14-ish level, which is still, it's a bold statement. I'll probably be wrong, but it's a 10% move basically from where we're at now.
Sure.
But I think it heads down there. I think that's a number the market's going to gravitate to.
Well, if we're expecting a rally in the market, then of course we have to expect the VIX to keep going down. So being a bold statement or not, it's certainly, you know,
well, the other thing, I see what you're saying there. The other thing is like, I guess the larger point here is a lot of funds will buy stock based on what the VIX is doing.
Sure.
Like a lot of funds track the VIX, and if the VIX is going down, that is an automatic buy signal.
Sure. Well, let's hope so. Kind of like a reverse squeeze there. You know, it goes down, they buy more. And if you're talking institutions, stuff like that, they make big purchases. That's obviously going to keep the market going up, which means it's going to drop more. So they're going to, you know, I don't know, reverse squeeze, whatever. All right, number 5, news cycle, which of course, I mean, you know, all this money that's getting pumped in, infrastructure bill, you know, now they're talking about the new tax thing, which may or may not affect it. But with all the news coming out, with all these bills, all this money getting pumped in, obviously stimulus checks had gone out and stuff like that. The news cycle is just really positive for the market as a whole. And I feel like you expect the news cycle to continue to push positive stuff out there to allow or to push the market even higher. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah, so we're past 3 major news events.
Sure.
Right. We're past the Fed, you know, that happened a few weeks ago. We were past Archegos. That was a big story.
True.
And we're past kind of this second wave of COVID, kind of a vaccine shortage, kind of, you know, moment in time.
Yeah.
There'll be another moment in time like that
Sure.
in a couple weeks, and then, you know, the cycle will repeat itself. But for right now, a lot of bad stuff has filtered its way out of the news cycle. And I think it's blue skies ahead for this next week. You're going to see negotiations on the infrastructure bill. You're going to see Democrats, I think, fold on raising corporate taxes to where they want to raise them. I think, you know, the yields stabilize. I think we get good consumer spending information. I think, you know, it's conditions are ripe for a rally next week.
I
think, you know, heading into monthly expiration, with the VIX sending buy signals, you know, with just bullish sentiment overall, you know, we're going to go higher.
Cool. I'm with it, man. I like it. We'll take it. That's for sure. All right. Well, I mean, that's our list, folks. We're I think expecting things to go higher. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there expecting things to go higher. Hopefully we see a lot of action next week because, you know, the stuff that I've been following hasn't been doing that great. But it only takes one great day for any one of them, one big bounce to turn things around. That's for sure. So if you're still watching, please subscribe, push the like button. We're going to go ahead and start with our Monday prep. And this is really just stuff that we like, maybe stuff to steer away from. I'm just going to go ahead. We've been talking about it. It's an easy one. I'm going softball here, but obviously GameStop. With everything going on with DFV and his April 16th call, which is a $12 call, dude. Just the guy, dude, just gets me right here, you know, just right here. You know, when I think about him, it's all hearts.
It is epic. Nothing.
It's pretty epic.
Short of legendary.
Pretty much. So with everything going on with him, we obviously here. I'll pull the hearts out. So with everything going on with him, I think it's I think it's one of those situations where it could really, really pump up really, really quickly. If I have a call on it, I'm going to be watching like a hawk, waiting for that volatility spike so I can hopefully get rid of it. That'd be pretty sweet. That's for sure. So what's one or two you're thinking about?
I'm thinking of VXX.
Sure.
Right now, there's actually word of a reverse split coming. So
wait, on the VXX?
Yep.
Wow, because it's so low? That's unbelievable.
That's my guess.
Wow.
It's other, so it's sister ETF, UVXY, which is 1.5x leveraged.
1.5. Wow. Okay.
Has collapsed to an even greater relative extent, and that one's going to need saving too. But this also makes me think when they're collapsing like this, it makes me also think that, and given how they track, a chart that tracks the VIX,
sure,
the VIX of volatility, but we'll get into that and maybe on another episode.
For sure.
It makes me think that there's going to be one more big opportunity for speculative traders to profit big on those. Because if you can buy them so cheaply, I mean, if you can buy volatility for $5 a share, and it's still relatively liquid index, you can, there's still going to be good movement there. Sure. I mean, why not take the risk, especially when the S&P is at new all-time highs, once again.
Yeah, for sure.
Heading into multi expiration. Yeah.
So one I'm looking at, we talk about a lot, is Ethereum. Of course, just buy it and hold it. That's it. Buy it, hold it, walk away. Piece of cake. You can see gold or Bitcoin. Well, I don't have it in front of me, but Bitcoin has just completely stalled out, and Ethereum keeps going up, and we've been predicting it for a while. We're not the only ones, that's for sure. AITX was up 25% today. I don't know if you noticed, but that's one I'm going to say stay away from because it's probably going to go back down. It's just the way it happens with that one. So there's a good chance it's going to go back down. So just be careful with that. When it goes up, it usually drops. We'll see where it settles. I also like shrimp for next week. I just like shrimp. Any day now, some news is going to come out. They're making some moves.
Literally any day now that one is going to pop. And
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for shrimp to do its thing, that's for sure. I also like QuantumScape, and the reason why is because we are expecting a bit of a rally next week. It didn't have the greatest week. It was kind of weak. It was a weak week.
I'm going to make a bold call and say that if the market really rallies next week, like I'm expecting it to, all those stocks, Plug, QS, like Energous, BLNK, our Tesla are up, 10 to 15%.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Week. And UUUU, which is one that you brought to my attention, uranium, it's doing really, really well. I don't know if you looked at it recently, but it's,
I haven't.
Yeah, it's up 10% for the week. It's been slowly it's actually down, 4.5% today. So, I mean, it was up almost 15% for the week. It was really, really doing well. It's had a little bit of, of a tumultuous run last month or so. But with uranium doing what it's doing, I just, with the clean energy, and yes, it has its set of, issues out there, and obviously it has the negative press and all that, but it is part of the clean energy movement because they have found ways to make this much more stable, a lot less risky with nuclear power and stuff like that. So I really just, not just next week, but overall, just keep this one on your radar, folks. It's a really, really good one to look at, for sure. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So what do we expect for the week? So the VIX, where do we expect the VIX to be this Friday?
14.5 level is what I'm looking at.
14? Okay. Look at that, folks. No caveat. Usually like, well, we'll close a daily candle below 15, by the end of the week. But all right, 14.5, we'll take it. I'm going to, I don't know. I feel like that's a lot. What do we go this week? So this week I think we were down like
that would be
right?
A big drop.
Yeah, that would be a pretty big drop because this week we didn't go down that much.
I'll probably be wrong.
Yeah. I'm going to say we're going to be around 15, a little bit above 15%, above 15. That's where I'm expecting it to be. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully everything else can keep rallying. Hopefully GameStop can explode, and we'll see. Any last minute thoughts?
How about this? Okay, it gets to 14.5 at one point next week.
Sure. There he goes, folks. I knew it was coming.
Caveating everything.
Last minute thoughts?
Don't be afraid to play in this market, but be safe.
All right, folks. So I guess that's pretty much it for this week. We will see you guys on Wednesday. And hopefully everything's kicking ass and we're along for the ride. I guess that's it. We'll see you soon. Thanks a lot. Peace.